Hey guys, today we're going to be solving absolute value equations and inequalities. Um, our first problem is the absolute value of x equals 6. Now, we can solve this by splitting it into two equations and then solving it. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have x equals 6, same as this one, and x equals negative 6. And there's nothing really to solve here. We have our variable equals negative 6. So these are our two answers. And you guys can rewrite this as x equals plus or minus 6. That is your answer right there. Alright, next one. We have the absolute value of x equals negative 10. The absolute value of x minus 10 equals 22. So again, we're going to split our equation. So we're going to have one exactly like this. So it's going to be x minus 10 equals 22. And the other one's going to be x minus 10 equals negative 22. So let's do this one first. Remember, we want to isolate our x, so we're going to add 10 to both sides. That cancels out. We are left with x equals 32. That's one of our answers. And then let's go to this one. We're going to add 10 again, isolate our x. Cancels. X equals negative 12, I believe. Yeah. Alright, so that is our answers. X equals 32 and x equals negative 12. Now you guys should really check these. I'm not going to check these right now because I don't want this video to take forever, but all you got to do is plug it into this equation right here. So you'd have 32 minus 10 and take the absolute value of that. That is 22. So 22 does equal 22. So that solution works. And negative 12 minus 10. Yep, that's negative 22. You take the absolute value of it, and you get 22 equals 22. So that solution works as well. Up here, you could just plug them in, and they work. And even negative 6. Negative 6, you have to take the absolute value of that. That's going to be a positive. So that works. All right, next problem. All right. Okay, we have negative 2 absolute value of x plus 3 minus 6 equals negative 8. So the first thing we're going to do here is add the 6. Remember, we want to isolate this. So we're going to add the 6 and get rid of that first. 6 here. So we're going to, everything's going to come straight down. This cancels out, and negative 8 plus 6 equals negative 2. And now we can divide negative 2, because here it's like distributing and multiplication. So we're going to divide and cancel that out, and we're going to divide on this side as well. So we're left with x plus 3, that cancels out, equals 1. And again, we're going to split our solution, or split our equations to solve. So we're going to have x plus 3 equals 1, and x plus 3 equals negative 1. So we're going to subtract 3 to both sides. That cancels out, so x equals, and that's going to equal negative 2. And here we're going to subtract 3 to both sides, and that equals negative 4. So that these are your answers. X equals -2 and x equals -4. Plug them back into this solution. Do them one at a time. You plug this one for x and you will get this. This one works and that one works too. But don't just assume they work. I checked them, but just for time's sake, I will not check them. Alright. Okay, next one. Okay. We have -3 absolute value of x plus 2 absolute value equals 9. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, isolate this. And to do that, we are going to divide by -3. And divide by -3 here cancels out. We're left with x plus 2 absolute value equals -3. Now, if you're looking at this, you have to be able to tell that an absolute value, any absolute value, will never equal a negative number. Therefore, the answer is no solution. No matter what, you will never get a negative number when you have the absolute value signs. Okay, next one. Okay. Our next problem, we have absolute value is less than 6. Alright, so this one we are going to solve and graph. Remember, we expand this to solve, so we have that. And now, when you make the 6 a negative, you have to flip the sign as well. So we have that. X is less than 6 and x is greater than -6. Now, before we go on further, we want to write this correctly. And there is this. This is how I remember it. Go LA. G stands for greater than. So if you had a greater than sign or greater or equal sign, it's going to be an or statement. If you have a less than sign like that, you will get an and statement. And this one, this is a less than. Remember, you have to check your original problem, and we have a less than sign, so it's going to be an and statement. So we're going to write this like this. Hold on. -6 is less than x less than 6. Alright, that is your solution. And now we are going to graph this. Okay. So we have x is greater than -6. So where's -6? Right here. And it's going to be an open circle. Why? Because if this was greater than or equal to, you would shade it in, but it's not. So it's an open circle. And then we have a +6, and that's an open circle as well. Now, it's an and statement, so more than likely it's going to go like this. And that is your answer. So that's the solution, and that's the graph right there. And it's connected because it's an and statement. And you can check that as well. You guys can plug in 0 for x, and that will work. Alright, next one. Okay, we have absolute value of x is greater than 8. Alright, again, we're going to split this. We're going to have x is greater than or equal to 8, and x is less than or equal to negative 8. Why do we do that? Again, because we made this a negative, so the sign has to flip. And I'm just going to jot this down. Go LA and or greater or less. Alright, so is this going to be an or and statement? Well, check our original, and we have a greater than, so it's going to be an or statement. So all you got to do really is just put an or right here. So x is greater than or equal to 8, or x is less than or equal to negative 8. And now we're just going to graph that. Okay. Alright. Open circle or closed circle? Closed circle, because it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. So right there, those two. And it's an or statement, so they are going to go outward like that. And that is your graph. So that is just your solution, and that is your graph. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope I helped you. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments box. Thanks for watching. See ya.